right.
Hey, Katie.
Hey.
Christian.
30, 35. Rockin' with the Queen AB, DFT tonight. 30, 35. Since you're rockin' with the Queen AB, DFT tonight. Motivation, inspiration, cause you know how we do it in the day. Good conversation, no hesitation. Now you're rockin' with the Queen. 30, 35. Rockin' with the Queen AB, DFT tonight. 30, 35. Since you're rockin' with the Queen AB, DFT tonight.
You are now rocking with the Queen, and it's time to get real.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of 30, Flirty, and Thriving. And as you could hear, that is our new intro. Big shout out to Christian Nelson for putting that together. Also, Lyric and Big Von. Everybody was in the studio. Everyone contributed to making that happen. I appreciate it.
And you too.
Yeah. So it turned out great. I'm excited. But yeah, so we've got Christian back in the studio. You're like a reoccurring guest at this point. It's like, what's your third time on the show?
This is my home. I'm here with y'all. Yeah, so. But yeah, it's glad to be back.
I think
I'm fresh off the road, straight from Atlanta.
Like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So,
so I appreciate that even more.
For sure.
So we have Christian back. Latrice's returning also from episode 1. Hey, remember, she told y'all how to get y'all money right. Okay, so you got to remember her. We have 2 new guests in the studio, and we also, Moya's going to be joining us shortly, and she's also a returning guest. But I'll let our new guests introduce themselves. We have Katie here. So, yes. Katie, you want to say hey?
Hi. So, as Amber so graciously introduced me, my name's Katie, and Amber and I have known each other for a very long time, since we were itty-bitties, Northwestern.
Yes.
Running around.
Up in Lansing.
Yes.
Actually, her, Moya, and I went to school together when we was in elementary, so super throwback. And then
history.
Yes. And then we have Terry in the studio. What up, Terry?
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
I ain't got no intros like that, though. I'm going to be honest. I don't know you so itty-bitty or none of that, so just move along.
No. We're not gonna skip past. Okay, we'll jump right into it. So, since how this episode is all about cuffing season and dating and all of that. So Terry, you wanna talk about how we met?
Absolutely. We met on Chris and Mingle. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding. I met Amber on Plenty of Fish?
Yeah.
On Plenty of Fish. And all right, so social media is based off of like just different things, and people are like real fake on social media. So I go in there and be just different, I guess you can say. So to me, when I first met Amber, 50 Shades had just came out. So that movie had just dropped. Everybody was like real big into that. So I wrote Amber, no disrespect. Okay, so whenever you start with no disrespect, let's just start with that. Whenever you start with no disrespect, it's usually disrespectful, but whatever. So I was like, no disrespect, but I'll do like 38 of the 50 Shades of Grey to you. And at the time, I ain't got no answer for that. That's pretty much all I got. I was being honest.
Hello, everybody.
I was just being honest. Like that's exactly what happened. So she accepted, and I'm not kidding.
Wait.
I'm just kidding. But no, it's so no. So that's how I met her, and we've been friends ever since. So yeah.
Yeah. So no, legit. So last year, right as I was like, I left my husband, and I was kind of starting to get divorced. I went on Plenty of Fish because I'm starting to build this brand, and I was like, I want to basically kind of do like a blog based on pickup lines and dating apps and things like that. So I was on there and I was just getting all of these messages, and then I was screenshotting them just to basically do a story on it. And when he messaged me that, though, like, not if I was seriously trying to date, I would have been like, like, what the hell? Like, that's so rude, you know what I'm saying? But I thought it was hilarious and amazing, and I was like, yo. So we just started talking, and it was like super, super. I don't even know what the hell we were talking about. We were going back and forth. I was at a conference, I think, in Austin, and like I'm supposed to be paying attention, but I'm sitting here messaging you back and forth. We talking shit back and forth. It was hilarious, though. So I was just like, that kept me engaged, and then somehow we ended up like following each other on Snap, and then it just kind of went from there. So we've been friends now. That was like legit over a year ago.
Yeah, so full disclosure, she still owes me like a horseback ride. So follow the camera.
Somehow we talked about like going on some horseback ride to Canada,
or like snow dogs or something like that. But she owes me, so
no.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like some snow puppies. It was like some weird, like if you get your passport, we go to Canada and we'll do like horseback riding or like snow puppies or something like that.
It was absolutely. That's what I'm saying. This whole conversation was really weird.
It escalated fast.
It started with like 38 of the 50 Shades of Grey. So where can it go from there? So anyway, so that's how we met though. But I don't think we actually ended up meeting in person until like it was like December or January or something,
like
right?
that, yeah. So
Yeah.
we went out like I think bowling, and don't ever go bowling with her.
Shut
I'm just,
up.
I'm just letting y'all know she's competitive.
I'm competitive, but I'm better now.
I was like, are you
Anyway.
good though?
Huh?
Competitive and good, or
Well,
just
I was really
competitive?
terrible at the time. I've since gotten better. I've had a little bit of training. So
Wait, you got professional training for bowling?
something like that.
Okay, all right. All right.
So I'm better. But point being, so over the past 8-9 months, whatever it's been or whatever, since we did have, so like he's become like a really good friend of mine or whatever. So he knows all 94% of like all of my dating drama and shit, I would say, because I'd be like, yo, can you believe this shit? And I'd tell him all this stuff. So he's cool. That's how we met. So I just thought that was an interesting kind of take, because sometimes when you're on these dating apps and stuff, you might not necessarily like find somebody that you know, the love of your life or whatever, but you might end up meeting somebody cool as hell that you just are friends with.
Very true.
So
Agreed.
yeah.
Yep.
So we'll just jump right on into like the dating stuff. So it's cuffing season, and what does this mean to you? Because this, like, literally, I've been seeing so many memes and things online about, oh, you know, sundress season is over. Like, so, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's cuffing season. Like, it's time to lock them down. Like, what? Is this actually a thing? Like, do people start getting like this like animalistic intuition where it's like, okay, we gotta like hibernate with a mate for the winter, or like what? Any takes? Any?
I will pass on hibernation.
Do you?
Right.
But do you feel like this season kind of makes people want to be in like some sort of relationship
Yeah.
where the holidays are coming?
It's
Like,
more of a
Absolutely.
Netflix and chill type of moment.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really going out as much. It's
Nope.
too cold to be looking cute. So you're like,
right,
oh, I'll just stay in the house.
Everybody
And
trying to
be-
cuddle.
right.
Yeah,
and
that's-
cuddle.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cuddle.
I ain't trying to really be
Everybody
serious.
trying
It's
to
just,
cuddle.
Oh,
it
okay.
went from outside to indoors.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
a good
about
way to look at it,
necessarily
yeah.
locking
Yeah.
anybody down and being serious. It's just about you moving from the outside to the inside.
Exactly.
You moving from
Exactly.
going out and
Absolutely.
getting fancy to Netflix and chilling with your hair
Netflix and
tied,
chill.
chilling with no makeup on, all of that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. I see.
Chilling
what
with
it
no
is.
wig on for some of these girls.
But I think you had a good point. The holidays kind of bring about, you know, kind of a couple type of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas coming up. You know, you're doing
All
family
family
outing.
oriented,
Yeah, you
yep.
know, so you come to the gathering. You kind of want to have somebody that you're rocking with that you might
Right.
want to introduce. You know, so I think the holidays kind of push cuffing season a little bit too. you
Yeah.
know?
Okay. So I just noticed I've been getting a lot of these like, hey, big head texts recently. And I just want to know if it's just me, or is this like, no, it's not just me. I knew it wasn't just me.
It depends on what time it is too. 'Cause
Wait.
I'll send them, hey, big head text or whatever them type of situation like 2 a.m.
That's what you do?
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe it.
Absolutely.
I think I believe that too.
I believe
Absolutely.
With your
What?
38 ass.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. No, not at 2 a.m.
I'm just kidding.
I just get them. I just get them at like random times of the day, and I'm like, legit. Okay, so let me tell you this story. So, in Terry, you know this. You know the whole story. So when I tell you this person, because I haven't talked to you since this happened. So out of nowhere, I haven't talked to this person in a good solid 6 months.
All right.
You thinking?
Nope. Keep going, though. Keep
Okay,
going.
I haven't talked to this person in a good solid 6 months. All of a sudden, they start hitting me up like, hey, I just want to talk, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like maybe, but I ain't got time right now. So let that go, whatever. And then like little snippet messages here and there. And I'm like kind of confused. Like, what do you want from me? You know what I'm saying? And then they start getting like crazy, like, oh, you're not responding, or like got quiet or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I don't know what you want from me. You know what I'm saying? And then like, they just got weirder and weirder and like closer together, and he just started spazzing like about to pop up and like all this shit, and I was like, what the fuck?
What's
like,
up with that popping up stuff, man? I don't-
listen, I'm all about that pop up life.
Are you?
Yeah, oh,
That
hell
is
yeah.
so-
Pop up?
For sure.
Man,
Really?
what? Nah.
Hell yeah. I mean, not
That
like
would
that.
get your
Not after
feelings
6 months. No, but like if me and you are in a situation
Uh-huh.
and I feel like I need to pop up, I'm gonna pop up on your ass.
That's
hell
a trust
yeah.
thing. That's why I feel like that's all I trust. Like, if you don't trust that person, that's the reason you wouldn't pop
Not,
up.
it doesn't even necessarily
That's like
have to
going
be
through
like
somebody's phone.
out of a trust thing. It could just be like, I don't know, like I'm just
That's like you was taught that when you was kids. Like you better knock on your mama's door before you walk in there. Like you don't pop up. You don't walk in there if you don't want to.
Yo, Papa.
I'm saying like
no, but
don't
I'm
do
just
that.
saying, girl, why are you looking at me?
Listen,
She
I'm
just
taking
judged.
notes. Like,
She just judged.
I guess because I don't pop up. I guess to me, it's probably pride. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
don't
I'm
think
like,
you don't want to find something you don't want to know.
Here's
You
my
know,
thing,
Oh,
I'm
I do
like-
want to know because I need to know if I need to go.
I'm
Like,
saying.
I definitely want to
if
know.
I feel like I gotta pop up, I gotta go. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
that's a trust
And
issue.
so for me, I'm like, nah,
But here's the
I'm
thing.
Gucci. Like I ain't about to pop up on you. If it's that, I think it's pride though, because I'm like, if I gotta pop up, like I'm like, F you, fuck you. Like I'm going somewhere
Right.
else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I am.
I guess
I
I've
think
never.
you're more. I'm sorry, not to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead.
But maybe it's more like if y'all are rocking, like it's like, oh, I'm gonna pull up because we're rocking because he's giving me the confidence
Thank
that we're
you.
rocking.
Thank
And
you.
so I mean that's the
Thank
flip
you.
of looking at it. I guess you know what I mean.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I'm not going like y'all laughing like.
Disclaimer. She
No,
definitely.
no, no. I mean, I don't think that I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever popped up on some like, oh, I'm about to bust your ass. Or if I did, it was probably like with my first husband because his ass needed to be busted. But like, other than that, it's just been on some like, I'm about to pop up because I'm gonna surprise you. Or I'm about to pop up like to talk, or I'm about to pop up like whatever reason. I don't know. I'm like, but I feel like if you rocking like that, you should be able to do that. Like there should be if me and you is rocking, there's no point in time you should be able to just pop up in my house. Period. Because there's gonna be nothing wrong when you come to my house.
Right.
But if I haven't talked to you in 6 months, you better not pop the fuck up at my house.
Absolutely.
Like,
Right.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself. Like, security not gonna let you in. Like, don't. No. So, yeah, but so that was kind of crazy. And then just like just weird. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And then I was like, oh, it's like getting colder outside. And I was like, okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I was like, that must be. It must be like that. Oh, summer fun is over. Like, we're not going out anymore. You know what I'm saying? Going out, dating, like, you know, obviously, like, even, like, the rooftop parties and all of that. Like, all of that's a wrap.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Done.
you got to find someone to Netflix and chill with. And if you
Netflix
ain't
and
found that
chill.
person over the summer, you like, okay, damn, who haven't I talked to in a few months?
Exactly.
Going
And
through your
hopefully they're
phone,
not in
like-
a situation, right? Hopefully that the person is not in a situation.
Exactly.
There, you know.
But why not be direct though? Why not just hit the person up like, hey, I've been thinking about like, well, like with that's my whole point with the hey big head text. Like people are so indirect, or they're like play with you or like say weird shit. It's like just say what you want to say. Like, hey Moya,
Hi,
Moya just
Moya.
walked in. Girl, come on and have a seat. We having fun in here. Talking about popping up and hey big head text. I know you got some hey big head texts. No, but I'm like, why not just be direct and be like, hey, I've been thinking about you. You know, you want to get together or something instead of just like trying to like be. Don't waste. I'm a very direct person, anyways. When I text, like if I text you, I'm like, hey, how have you been? What are you doing? I'm like, hey, there is something going on at 7:00 tonight. You trying to go or not? Like I'm getting it all out in the first text. Like so, if you're hitting me up after however many months, like tell me what you're hitting me up for.
I think part of it too, especially like with dating, is vulnerability. You know, people, as much as they don't want to admit it, it's scary to date and to put yourself out there. So I think a lot of times people will try and like hide their true intentions behind
Yeah.
something, so that way if you aren't into it, they're like, oh, I didn't even mean it like that.
Right.
You know, I was just
Right.
checking on you. Hey,
It's
big
cop
head, what's
out.
up?
Right.
Do you
Because dating
think-
is scary. It's scary to be vulnerable.
For sure. That makes sense.
I agree.
Moya, why you ain't got your headphone on yet?
Thirsty.
Oh, you got the mic's on? Okay, never mind. We're gonna have to wait. We gotta wait for Jessica. So Katie, tell us a little bit about what your experience is, because I know you was in a long-term relationship,
I was.
and then that not really recently, but kind of recently ended. Like what, a year or two ago?
It's been like 2.5 already.
Yeah. So what's your experience? And you're like me. You're from Lansing, and you
Yes.
moved down to Detroit area. So what has your experience been like in trying to like, you know, moving and then dating in a whole new area and like all of that? How has it been for you?
So it's been interesting for sure. I think one of the hardest things is as we get older, at least for me, it's harder to make new friends in general. And in a perfect world, I'd like to meet someone to date through a mutual friend, just because online you don't really know what people's intentions are. You know, you can portray anything, so you don't really know what you're getting into. So that being said, moving to a new place like you, I didn't have that friend group. So I started with online dating. I've used Bumble, and I've used Coffee Meets Bagel. I've used eHarmony. I've tried Match. I've just tried everything I can to expand my social circle.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as much as I'd like to say, oh, let me let something happen organically, let me meet someone at the grocery store, I don't know anything about that person. I don't know if they're single. I don't know if they want to date me. You know what I
Right.
mean? So at least if you're online, people are there to meet someone, you know, to date.
Yeah. That was my theory too, because like I played around on Bumble for a second,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, at least I know that people are like what their intentions are, like, well, for the most part, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
You here to
right.
meet somebody for something. I don't know what that something is.
Yes.
We gonna figure it out. But
Yes.
so that was kind of my thought, but but like you, I also feel like it's just better to make it happen organically because the
Yeah.
app stuff is, I don't know, it's just not my thing. Moya, what's up? You got your mic on yet?
It's on.
Oh,
Okay.
hi.
Hi, boo.
Okay, we had to make sure you had an opportunity to introduce yourself again.
Oh yes, Moya Maffett here. I'm talking like I'm on a quiet storm.
That's okay.
Wow.
We can quiet it down for you.
So wow.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Moya Maffett, abstract artist. What else do I do?
I don't know. We're talking about dating right now, so we gonna jump right
go
past
on
that.
a
You've been on the
resume.
show before.
Oh yeah.
I should have Moya
My-
write my intro next time. That was fabulous.
Thank you.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right.
Dating life, yeah, about dating life. I mean, as I walked in and listening to what you guys were saying, it is very vulnerable to put yourself out there. But me, I guess I'm more of a, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm more so, I'm one of those free people that like will put themselves out there with no problem. Like, hey, you cute. Let me holler at you real quick.
But see,
Let's
I'm
talk.
a Sagittarius, and I don't.
See, but that's you're a December one. I'm a November one. I don't know. Maybe that might have a
That's the
difference. But
Oh, okay, she's like that's
yeah, see, I'm all for it. Like I'll stop a guy and be like, "You was real handsome. Come on, let me holler at you real quick." You know what I mean? And if it don't work, it's easy for me to be like, "Well, didn't work. Okay."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And move on to the next one. And I won't take what I learned, what I had in one relationship to the next. So for me, I guess it's just a little bit more. It's easier for me. I think it's just because of my character, though. Like that just might be it. But
Yeah.
Wow. Moy, do you remember when we were, I'm sorry to interrupt you, do you remember it was back in college and we were out like probably 621 or something, and there was a guy that I'd always seen that I thought was like super fine.
this
Always
sounds
saw
so
him.
familiar.
Just wait, you'll remember. I had always seen him out, but I was in a relationship, so of course I, never talked to him. And I saw him, and I'm like, Moya, that's that guy. That's the guy that I would always see. I was single, so Moya, thinking that I'm not like her, she literally shoved me into this dude, like shoved me into him.
Young days.
Crashed
You
into
did.
him. And
I
I'm like,
do remember that.
Hi.
And he looked down at you and was like, "Hello."
Yeah, we went on a date.
Yeah.
But he ended up being a smoker. He was not my favorite person aside from that. But
Oh.
But there was an introduction made.
Gotcha.
That was
what-
the hard part, right?
That's the point. Yeah.
not recommended.
Point.
Don't do that.
Don't ever push somebody into somebody.
That was young days, though. Like 621. That was a long time ago. And if you guys don't know, like me, Amber, and Katie have known each other since our pigtail braces,
Glasses.
bad stage overalls with Bugs Bunny on them.
I'm thinking, I didn't have braces or glasses. I must have been like the cute. No, I'm just kidding.
I had the horrible pigtails with the overalls. Katie had the glasses with the Christmas.
I feel like we have a picture of that.
You know I had a really long, awkward face.
You did. She had curly short bangs.
My whole hair was that
I
length.
loved your
All the
curly
way
hair
across.
though.
And then Amber was just like the,
What was I?
"What
Oh,
up,
yeah.
girl?" Yeah, and you still are.
What up, girl?
What up?
Hey.
She was a tough one. And I was,
No, you know what? Katie punched me in my nose though. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't
It
remember?
was an accident, right?
It was an
I was
accident,
like,
but it was
there's
the
no way I
first and
punched
probably
you.
I think only time that ever got busted in my nose like that. So kudos to you for that. We were talking about fighting, like play fight. We were like, somebody was about to get into a fight. And we were like reenacting it. We are like, yeah, I would do like this, and you kind of simulated what you would do, and you actually
I do remember
punched me in my nose,
Somebody
and I was
bobbed
like,
when
oh
the
my
other person was supposed
god,
to weave.
and it was bleeding. What did you
I
say?
said somebody bobbed when the other person was supposed to weave.
yeah, that's what happened.
I didn't bob.
I'm so sorry. I do remember that.
Bobby or weave.
I didn't bob or weave. I just stood there and got hit.
And I'm just clumsy, so my clumsy self does not need to be reenacting anything dangerous.
I was
That's
like,
funny.
I was like, dang, I'm over here. I got a reputation to uphold. She just busted me in my face.
Oh my gosh.
She did have a rep
I'm sorry.
to be tough and mean. Katie was like the sweet one. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day. Anyway,
Okay. Memory lane.
off
Yeah.
subject for a second.
Dating.
Yeah, off
It's
subject for a
something.
sec.
Cuffing season. So Latrice, we haven't heard much from you. So tell us. I know you've dabbled.
I've dabbled.
So tell me about your dabble.
I dabble. It's funny because I've always found my most serious relationships come when I'm not looking for it. Like when I'm just kind of like, I'm doing my thing. Like I ain't worried about nothing, nobody else. Just,
being a mom, being an entrepreneur, that's when they just come out of nowhere. Like, oh, I wasn't ready for you. But when I'm like, oh, I want to cuddle, it's like,
that's exactly.
You're lame. Like everybody it just does not fit. So I've just learned to just kind of like sit back. But I'm like you. Like if I see something, I'm like, what's up with it? You know what I'm saying? Like I just kind of go after it. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. But at the same time, like I don't play games. So like if I'm feeling like in the early season, like you own some other, I'll just be like, delete. Like it's exactly like I'm like, all right, I'll keep it moving.
Yeah.
But what I found is that, I'm not from Detroit. I've only lived up here for about 4 years. And so I'm from the South. And, does it make sense now?
Because I live in the South a lot, part-time of the year. I'm in the South.
Something clicked where he sat back like,
Right.
But I'm from the South, so like the women are different up here, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they're way more aggressive than in the South. So like, anytime I meet a guy, they always go, "Where you from?" Like they automatically know I'm not from here, and I don't know what it is, but they say your mannerisms, the way you talk to people. And so it's almost like I feel like a lot of times here people are on defense until you prove to them you're loyal.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying. I come from a point where everybody trusts everybody.
Yep.
Right.
But up here it's like,
Southern
oh,
hospitality,
what you want? Why you talking to me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why you open my door?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about that is that, and it's also, it has to do a lot with how you were raised too, because my mother and my father is from the South. My grandparents are from the South. And but I was born up here. But what they, put into me
absolutely
makes me a completely different that I used to always say, why are women so rude up here? Because and then, down south, you don't have to that woman does not have to be aggressive because the men are. Absolutely. And the men are more, hi, how you doing? You so beautiful. We want to talk to you and just, they are like that. Yeah. When I lived in Louisiana, they were a lot like that.
Absolutely.
Up here, the men do not approach you too often, especially the ones that you like. The ones that you're attracted to, they will not.
You know what? And you're so right because
a lot of women will.
The women will take charge, like they like in your face.
Yeah.
You mean
so
here, right?
Absolutely,
up here.
And I think that's why I don't approach because I don't.
Rejection?
Not a rejection. I'm just not gonna get along with a man who can't approach me. Like if you can't lead me, if you can't even do that, we're not gonna get far.
Yeah, and it's a majority of the women up here's fault because women are more aggressive. So that man feels like, shoot, she want to talk to me, she gonna come holler at me, because women will.
Yeah,
and it's a problem.
Yeah.
Whereas down south, it's not like that. Men aren't like that, and the women are different.
I agree with you.
It's completely different.
Because I've dated a little bit, everywhere. I've been in the game for a minute, I've been in the game for a minute. So I done had the South and I done had it up here. So it's completely different.
Yeah.
Even the cuffing season or how people are approached or what you say or don't say is totally different. Even when I go back home and I get approached with somebody like, "Excuse me, miss, you mind if I talk to you for a minute?" Up here, be like, "What up, shawty?" Like,
it's way different. It's way different. They'll pull up at you at the stoplight, right on the way, be like, "Hey, hey!" Like
the funniest thing. So Amber and I actually met because our sons are really good friends. Like still to this day, they used to go to school together. They been to school together probably 2 years now, but they still talk like every day. And so I was at church. So my son's 10. I was at church, and so this guy came up. And, he was respectful. He was like, "Excuse me, you mind if I ask you a question for a second?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up? What's going on?" He was like, "I was just wondering how old you are." Because he's like, "I always see you with this young man. I wasn't sure if that's your son. Is this your brother or something like that?" And I was like, "No, it's my son." He's like, "Man, you don't look old enough to have a son that age." I was like, "Yeah, I had him when I was younger or whatever." My son straight cut it off. Like, he was like, "No disrespect, but this ain't the time."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute." He was like, no disrespect. He was like, and the guy started laughing. And then my son was like, "This ain't not right now." He was like, "I know you like my mom. You probably feeling her, but we at church."
We shut it down for real.
He shut it down. But I was just so surprised because he just came out. And then we walked out. I was like, "What was that about?" He was like, nah, not right now. Like, not in front of me.
Not right.
And this
And
is
that's
how
very
right
respectful.
now.
That
He
your
was
son,
like, not
he's-
right now. And I was like, what do you mean he was feeling? He's like, Mom, you know what that means. I was like, no, what's that mean? He's like, he was liking you. He thought you was cute. He probably want to take you out sometime.
Oh, he's smart.
See, and this is how our sons are different. Because let me tell you my story. So I'm walking down Woodward with mans. We was, I don't know, shopping or something. And we walked past this dude who's trying to holler at me. He's like, hey, excuse me, can I talk to you? Whatever, whatever. I'm like, no, I'm good. I keep walking. I keep like, you know what I'm saying? I'm good, I'm good. He tries like a good 2-3 times. As I'm trying to like walk away from him or whatever, I end up tripping on something and damn near busting my ass. The man was like, see, Mom, that's what you get for being rude to people. I was like,
God don't like ugly.
yeah. Like, you
I'm
should
gonna
have
send
told him.
JP.
I was like, dang.
I'm going to tell them that they got to talk about that on Fortnite tonight.
Fortnite.
Because they probably playing right now. Like, I'm going to tell them, you go holler at mans on Fortnite about
Right,
what he said to his
right.
mom.
He was like, see, that's what you get. I'm like, dang, son.
My mom used to say, bad kids ain't got to hurt themselves. It's same with adults.
Right.
But wait a minute now. Don't go, I wasn't being bad. Oh, my God.
Oh, no, that's not what she said. I'm sorry. She said, you ain't got to whoop bad kids. They hurt themselves. I said the same thing for adults.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I just didn't want to talk to the person.
How'd you say it?
I'm on your team, Amber.
Thank you. I was
I
like,
don't like
what
that.
the hell is what's going on
How
here?
you say it?
I was nice. I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you. Like, I have my son. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Right.
that is kind of like, when you have your kid with you, and it's like a 10-year-old boy or 9-year-old or however,
Yeah.
I feel like if it's a baby, they don't know what's going on or
Right.
whatever. If it's like an older
No,
kid.
I completely agree with you on
I'm
that.
like, yeah,
I
so
completely
I'm
agree with
like-
you on that.
But I wasn't like, I was not being rude.
I was getting ready to say, because Amber, you be a little cutthroat
I was
sometimes.
not being rude.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand with your kid. Now that's a whole
Yeah,
nother-
so I was
that's a
like,
whole
no, I'm
nother
good,
story.
thank you.
Absolutely.
He shut it down. JP shut it all the way down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that was the way. The
He
man
was like,
just
nah,
like,
not right now.
Yeah, right now.
yeah. So, in just about 2 minutes, we're gonna take a break and listen to a song. And actually, I have. So this is from a new artist that I just recently met, and it's a group, a Detroit-based group by the name of Black Lion Society. So in just a minute, we're gonna get into that song, but in the meantime, we'll finish this up. So anyway,
I got a question for
Yeah.
the group. So, we all getting a little older,
Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
right?
Definitely.
Right? We ain't gonna call out no ages right now because we look good.
That's right.
But do you feel the pressure, like right now in the dating season, like as you're going into getting older, do you feel the pressure to like hang it up?
Hanging up meaning.
Like settle down, get married,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
have more
Especially
kids?
when
Is
all
it
your-
because the pressure you're putting the pressure on yourself, or other people are putting the pressure on you?
It's both.
Yes,
okay, but
absolutely.
wait. That's a great question.
Yeah.
But
And
we're
we
about
gonna
to get into
finish
this
it.
break.
Yeah.
And
on purpose.
we gonna come
Yeah.
back for it.
I did it on
Good
purpose.
question. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great question. Yeah, no. Facebook Live can hear you.
Right now?
Right now?
They can? Yeah.
Okay.
They can. Last time I thought they couldn't. And then,
You're settled. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm also observing relationships around me,
Y'all jacked up.
it kind of makes or breaks the situation. A lot of your friends are kind of breaking up. It doesn't really motivate you to be like, okay, let me hold back for a minute. Maybe I'm good in the single lane for a second because my friends or peers, the relationship comes to me. I'm not wishing bad for them. It's just something.
24/7, I'm greedy. Got a fetish for the cash route. Dropping hugs in the weight room. Stacks of bands in my stash house. No wings, got that blue cheese. 2 lows in these blue jeans. Got a red bone with a red thong. Fly past you in the foreign thing. X5 and I'm so live. Stay lit and that's so why. She gave me head in the driver's seat. That's what I call sex drive. Pulling up. Got Patron in my cup. You niggas stay hating us. I really don't give a fuck. I say gone.
Run up a check. Benjamin Crippin' bitches think it's beautiful. Bustin' the streets. G's on my feet. Damn, it's incredible. If I wait, if I wait. If I wait, if I wait. If I wait, if I wait. I know that you with it. Deep in the city, my niggas is litty. Can't tell us not. Counting these 20s, 50s, and 100s headed to the function. If I wait, if I wait. If I wait, if I wait. If I wait, if I wait. I know that you with it.
Fuck off a check. Run it back up and fuck off again. Again and again. Like these dividends, they never go in. Push, start the push. Roof gone, of course. Euro stepping in the finest linen with exotic women in Givenchy denim. Woo! Fresher than fresh. Cameraman coming, hold on for a sec. Hold up. Gold on my neck. Standing on couches with much disrespect. Cases on cases, we popping champagne till we all pissy wasted. Yup. Fuck you.
All right, so that was Black Lion Society, and the song is called Get It. And if you want to follow them on Instagram, it's BLKLION_SOCIETY. So shout out to Black Lion Society for providing us with our break music today. Now, Latrice asked a really good question before we went into break and said, now that we're all getting older, 30-something or ish, almost within that realm, ish, is anybody feeling the pressure that they need to wrap it up, settle down, chill out,
Excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, I think personally, I've always been someone that, like, if I'm dating one person, like, I don't want to date anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to settle by any means, but I really love being in a relationship. I love having my person. So, but that being said, like, I see, my little sister has an amazing husband and they have 2 little girls, and I want, to have a family. I want, like, all the kids to be able to grow up together. So, yeah, like I said, it's not necessarily pressure from external force. I'm just, like, ready whenever it
You're ready.
happens.
You're
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, I completely agree. I mean, like we were talking about on break, I feel like, and I think the pressure is mostly me on myself too. Although, your surroundings affect you. So when you see your friends and their kids and their families and stuff like that, you want the same thing. Like, you see them do things together, the kids play dates, mom trips, or just like in my family, all my brothers have kids, and even some of their kids have kids. So now I'm a great aunt. And it's like, my nieces and nephews having kids before me. Like, you know what I mean? But I want, like you said, I want my kids to grow up with my nieces and nephews too. And being a person that was almost at that point, and then it getting taken away is a little bit more of it makes you nervous, but it still makes you ready at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're ready.
I am absolutely ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
So
I think it's an on and off thing. There's times where I feel like, I want to be down, but there's times like, I'm good right now. You know?
Absolutely.
And I'm coming from the aspect of working in the industry. Getting out. Some of the people that you meet, it's all, how can we get to another plateau? So there's a lot of opportunistic people. You know what I mean? So you don't know if they're real. If they're really trying to, build a relationship, or are they just trying to use you to get to another plateau?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's kinda,
Exactly.
So that's that tidbit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, I was gonna say, what about you, Terry?
With me, man, I feel like it's all about, I don't know, like situations. So every day is different. No, every day is different. And right now, I don't want to get married, like, anytime soon. But you never know what can happen tomorrow. So that's how I always look at it.
How old are you?
30.
Okay.
So he looks young, huh?
He looks super young. I was
Yeah,
about to
yeah.
say, you don't look like you should be one right now.
All right.
I didn't when I was 26. That's how you look.
It's like, you're good. You're good.
You shouldn't
It's
want
not time for you.
Like, all my friends have gotten married. All the people around me got married. My homeboy just had a kid. So everybody's, like, starting that family. I'm sitting there looking like, ooh.
I mean, I feel him because, like, when I was with Caleb, we were together for 2 years, and I'm just like, oh my God, what he asked me, what he asked me, what he asked asked me? Would he ask me? Because all my coworkers were getting married and my friends were getting married, and then everybody's getting engaged, and we were engaged at the same time. And Joy was engaged. I'm like, like, come on, like. So then he didn't ask, and so I was like, I put my mind in this place where it was just like, well, maybe he ain't the one to be marrying. Like, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So then I let it go. As soon as I let it go, he asked. And then I had to get my mind back to that point again. So it is an up and down thing. Like, if you aren't, and I believe that it was because maybe I was not 100% ready, because if I was, then I would have been ready to just be like, yes, and go, and not have to get my mind back to that point. So it wasn't just him, because he thought marriage was going to be all happy-go-lucky. No, marriage is hard.
Right.
And I don't know if I was ready for it at that point either. So there is a lot of up and down, because you got to take into consideration who you going to be marrying. My pastor used to always say you better do some background checking on that family.
I do background check on everybody.
Especially on that family. You better do some background checks.
Background check. You know I do a credit check. Come on. Come on, because I can't take on your debt. Okay?
I know that's right.
No,
I know that's right.
I know somebody who called off a marriage because of that
credit.
Oh, I feel it.
Oh, yeah.
The money is a big factor.
Well,
money and
I
credit.
guess for marriage, but I'm like, I feel like, you know, when you get into a situation, like if it's really about love or whatever, you should be all about helping that person reach whatever they're trying to reach in life. So if that's clearing up their debt or whatever, not saying that you need to pay for it.
Oh no,
the credit card, $2,000.
But you can help them.
That's a loan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, but like, are you? If that is legit, like your soulmate, like the person that fulfills all of your needs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, are you really gonna let some debt like really interfere with that? Like, I don't know. For me, I feel like
if you're honest about it, there's
if you're not honest about that, then you're not honest.
During the first 6 months, here's the situation. I messed up. I made a mistake. But my girl who called it off, she found out during marriage counseling.
Not even just that, but if you dealing with somebody that's not trying to fix their debt.
Right.
I'm not trying to be with you, because now you let me know you're not responsible, and you ain't got enough common sense to know that this right here is a big factor for not only me and you, but for you.
So when is the time that you bring up your debt? 6 months? Like, I feel like that's early.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how your relationship is. But I'm like, at what point are you like, so my credit score is 694, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
we were having that conversation at dinner, right?
Right.
Like, that's funny.
Because if you go probing for it, they gonna be like, damn.
What you trying to find out?
Yeah.
From what I've learned, marriage is, and I hadn't always viewed it like this, but marriage is a business almost.
Yes.
You know, it's an investment.
It is.
Absolutely.
Credit, all those things. They kind of paint the picture of how your marriage is going to go. Like, if, you know, being fiscally responsible and all those things. But you don't want to let it override the heart of the relationship. If you really love that person, vice versa, y'all got to come up with a plan if you guys love each other enough.
For sure.
You know,
Absolutely. I think
to get to that
But
level,
it should
y'all
be
can both be winning.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
It should be organic. I don't think anything should have to be forced.
Absolutely.
If I
That's what
gotta
was
work
gonna
this
say.
hard to be like, so what is your credit score? So.
Right.
What is, you know,
Yeah,
you got any
that's
diseases?
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But you know what? You know
it
when
should-
you feel.
exactly.
Or you'll
it
see
should-
signs.
Right.
Some
You
type
sh-
of-
right.
very
He
true.
tried to swipe that card and got denied. Right. Like, wait a
Exactly.
minute.
Or just
Like-
even, you know, Amber said, when is a good time? It's like, personally, if you're dealing with somebody specific and you have that connection with that person and you've been growing with that person for 7-8 months or whatever the case may be, and you guys feel strong enough to be able to talk to each other about things where it will not affect that other person, then
Absolutely.
that's the time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I feel like-
Because when you're with somebody, they shouldn't just be somebody that you want to just marry or have this romantic relation. They should be your best friend too.
Agreed.
So
Exactly.
if you guys can get to that point where you're looking towards marriage and you know that this person is special to you,
Agreed.
it shouldn't be a problem to talk about it.
Agreed.
It's all about
100.
trust.
It is
all
all,
about
that's
trust.
exactly what it's
Absolutely.
about.
Trust and compromise.
But
That's all
Absolutely.
relationships
in
are.
order to tell someone I got a 400 credit score, you
Couple
You got
shots and
but you got to be able
Been a
to
long
trust
night.
that they can accept that. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
that's
why you gotta know who,
vulnerability.
Yeah.
you got to know
You
who
what
you're
I'm
dealing
saying?
with.
You
That's
gotta
why I
know who
said
you're
it.
dealing with, because they may be like, check please. You
That's
know
what I'm saying.
They may check out.
And that's why I said it has to be your best friend. You got to know that person and feel
Absolutely.
comfortable enough with that person, you know. And aside from that, you got to, even if they do hit you with the, I got a 400 credit score, I should be seeing that man not spending money at the club, but trying to pay that bill on time.
There you
like,
go. I
you
mean-
got to have action with your words
Yeah, I think that
and everything that you do.
if they have a 400 credit score, there's a reason for that. Either they made a lot of mistakes prior, or they're
medical
still making
bills, student loans.
It could
but
be
they
a lot of those
it
things.
could be a lot of things. But I'm saying, like, typically, if you have that bad of a credit score, I'm like, you have made really poor choices at some point in your life. And my thing is, are you still making poor choices?
That's why I said action with words. Yeah.
So if you are going out and spending money on this or ordering crazy stuff online, but your bills aren't handled or your credit, you're not paying down on your debts or whatever,
bills.
then that's a whole separate issue anyway. So it's not even necessarily about the credit score. It's about the choices that you have made and that you're continuing to make. Are you prepared to make better choices for yourself and for whatever the future holds with your partner or your family? So, Latrice, what about you? Are you feeling the pressure? Because I know you asked it, but
I would say, all my siblings are married. Well, my sister's getting divorced, but everybody's been married. Everybody has children. Obviously, I have a son. I go like him. I go through spouts where I'm like, maybe I should. But right now, I'm kind of just like laying low. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think my best relationship has come when things are organic. And I want to make sure I'm the best I can be. And so I'm just continuing really to focus in on myself. I don't feel a lot of pressure from myself to be there because what I don't want to be is be there and be unhappy. What I don't want to be is just making sacrifices. I could have been married several times, but I've chosen not to be married. And that's not saying anything like I'm all that, but I'm just like, I'm not going, I know what I want and I know what I deserve. And I'm just kind of like, when it comes and when it happens, great. But I'd rather just be where I'm at now than to force it.
And that's a big thing. You know what you want, you know what you deserve is a big thing.
Because I've been in relationships where I didn't get what I deserved. You know what I'm saying? So I've settled before.
And that's where I was bringing up that meme. Like, I know so many people that have settled. I know so many people that have settled for some horrible things, and then they just go with the flow with it. Like a man that just cheats, and so she just like, well, I'm a cheat too. But they together because they do well together. But
it's roommates.
It's like, why would you want a relationship? Like, if that's what floats y'all boat, okay, you
but
like
that's
it,
the
I
thing
love
is,
it.
like,
but it's settling. It's like,
well, some people though are comfortable.
they are.
You can't. That's why I'm like, listen, I don't judge other people's relationships because I'm like, if y'all both cheating but y'all love each other and that works for y'all, then if you like it, I love it. It's great. Like, but that's not a situation I want to be in. But
it's different when you go into that and you're actually like fighting with each other, and then all of a sudden you just stop fighting and it's just like, fine, we just gonna do this.
I think that shows that people just scared to be alone.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Sometimes
now if you meet
somebody
somebody and you like, baby, listen, I can't just be with one woman. She like, shoot, I can't be with one man. That's different.
Right.
Then that's how y'all rocking. But when you in something, y'all fight so much where you get numb. And then you just deal with it with each other.
But like you said, like a lot of times I think that people who are comfortable in their lifestyle, if they in like Lansing or whatever, and
they settle.
They're like, I've been to the club. I know it's the same people out there every day. It's the same people on churches every Sunday. It's the same people I see in a grocery store. There's nothing else out there other than what I got. So I'm gonna stick with what I got.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, moving around or being in a bigger city definitely opens up your options. No, definitely opens up your options for sure. Like, I'm like, I feel like, my dating options when I lived in Lansing were limited versus when I'm in Detroit, I have a better dating options. Doesn't necessarily make them better people.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Doesn't make them better people.
So better dating options just because you're in Detroit, or how does that?
You have more options.
You just have
people who are
young
more
professionals.
career driven,
more
motivational.
like-minded people.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
More
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
people
Yeah.
is what it is.
One thing that I'm really trying to work on now, though, is it's funny because as I'm, single and I'm dating and, I'm getting excited about guys that I'm meeting, I'm dating, like some of my married friends with kids are looking at me like, you need to stop and slow down. You need to appreciate what you have right now. Like, it's like I love my family. I love my husband. I love my kids, but I would just want to be you just for like a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really trying to enjoy this season of my life. And the other thing I realized too, like being single, I've spent so much more time with my mom and my stepdad. Like my mom and I's relationship, has become, we were always close, but even closer. Like I've spent so much time with my nieces that I know if I was in a relationship with someone, I wouldn't have ever had that time. So I'm so thankful for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But you know what I find interesting from my perspective, because I've dated outside my race before.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that the pressure in different races is there's different intensity behind it.
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe pressure is not the best word, but I would say they move a lot quicker towards it. Okay?
Absolutely.
So they know what they want.
I mean, know what
They're
they want,
just
but
quicker
they're like,
to-
they're on it. Like
to make it happen.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
Let's just do this
because
right
my fiance
now.
was
Who's
white.
they, Moya? Who's
Yes.
they?
And no, here's the thing.
Are we doing this? Are we doing this?
Here's my question. Here's my question.
Do you mean white people by they?
Here's my question.
Let's just say it. Let's just put it out there.
Yes.
Let me say. Okay. Here's my question. Looking back on that now, right? Retrospect, was that? I mean, obviously they wanted to move quicker. Was that a good thing? I mean, did you feel like that was a good thing? Because it's not like you're with these people anymore. You feel what I mean?
Okay, so
what was good about it?
For me, let me start here. My fiance was amazing. He was a good man, and a lot of things about him he could not relate with me, and I couldn't relate with him. When I say that he moved fast, he was quick into wanting. After he asked me to marry him, he had the ring for already 7 months. So when he asked me, it was just like, oh, we can get married like right away. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Like it was really, really quick, where I wanted to take a little bit of time and appreciate the engagement. You know what I mean? And we had things in our relationship, and I won't go into too much depth, but
Don't do that.
we look at it, don't do that.
I know.
You know, we saw things a little differently, and it's almost like he didn't want to take time to look at our differences and hash them out and figure out a way how we can move with those differences into our marriage. It was almost like, we'll figure it out when we get there. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to figure it out when I get there. I want to start figuring this out right now before we get to this point where we're together and there is nothing that we can do at that point.
Exactly.
Right.
So he moved fast with love and with caring and with wanting to have a family and all those things. But I wanted to move in another direction of getting to know who you are, you know, not just as my best friend, as my lover, but in depth. I need to know who I'm dealing with, and you need to know who you're dealing with too. Right. We were bred from two different places.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what is too long for like an engagement? Like you know, if you hear some people be engaged for like 5 years and stuff like that. Like
I mean, I think it's up to you guys. Honestly, I think it's whatever's comfortable for that couple.
But essentially, I guess you have to kind of take the good with the
bad.
Not so good.
Absolutely.
How much can you put up with if you really love this person?
Right.
'Cause
Absolutely.
It's not going to be like this silver platter.
Absolutely.
Right,
all the
exactly.
time, you know?
No way.
I know, I feel you.
No
But
way.
I think that
Go ahead.
from my perspective, like I said, other races, not just Caucasian.
I'm just teasing you. Yeah.
Not just Caucasian.
right.
Hispanic.
Okay.
All right. Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I kind
Right?
of want to.
Middle Eastern is a-
They own it.
That's a big one right there.
Yes.
Middle
right?
Eastern ain't no joke. Or Africans.
That's another one.
Where did that bell come from?
But it's true. Like other cultures,
It just came from nowhere.
they move a lot faster. And a lot faster. And it's like, there's been a couple times I'm like, pump the brakes, like, calm it down. Like, can we get to know each other a little different? And, you know, my brother gave me a different perspective. He's like, but you got to keep in mind when, you know, sometimes in an African-American community, for a black male, there's so many choices. And so, you know, there's not the rush because if you can't get it, somebody else can get it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's not always, you know, it's more of an equal balance in some other cultures. And so I had to find myself to say, all right, take a step back and say, are they going too fast or are you going too slow?
Yeah.
You know, I had to ask myself, like, all right, am I the problem? And
I've battled that.
That takes growth.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times you're like, dang, homie, like, it's okay. Like, we just on date number 2. Like, you want me to go to meet the family? I'm like, ooh, I'm sweating. Like, this ain't the time.
Maybe it's because we different.
I don't want your potato salad.
You said y'all
No,
had to cover the what?
nah, man,
Right.
y'all not gonna do that.
Right? No, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it was me. It was me. And I really look back and say, okay, maybe it's not them. It was me who was not ready for the pace that I thought I wanted.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You know,
a
it's
great point.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, it's
No,
funny,
you're
Amber.
good.
I'm rocking with you. It's funny, like roles are kind of being reversed a little bit. I'm hearing, right? Like you got the women that are kind of like, and the men are like, yo, you know, we're for the most part, are like they're ready to kind of, you know, make things happen. Some of them, I guess, you know, but I just kind of hear like
It's crazy because every let me okay, I'm trying to think of a way to say this. I got two black men sitting right here. So
About to get disrespected.
I feel like
disrespect.
hold on. If I ain't said this, let me put it on record. I love my black men.
Thank
okay?
you.
Let me just.
We're here.
They're my kings. I love my black
You got
men.
it. You got it.
But I will say this.
I want to co-sign it so bad. I wasn't going to do it, but I'm just going to say it, too. I love my black men. I can't not say it.
You wanted to say it so bad.
I was like, I just can't hold it in.
Let me tell you though, but my black men, there's a group of y'all that know what it's like to have a queen or just. I'm not even just talking about a black woman. I'm talking about a woman that does you good, a woman that is going to follow you because they know that you're going to lead them in the right way. But so many of our black men will move in with a woman and will not ask them to marry them because why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? And my mom used to always say that. Might be a different with Southern men though. But I know these black men up here, they'll move in with you quick. Won't never ask you. Won't even ask. Will never, and if they do ask, it's gonna be a while.
So what is too long then? Like I said.
Well, see, I've never lived with a man.
I haven't either.
Yeah,
I have never.
I've
never lived with a man either.
No, because my dad would still come up here and kick my butt.
If I moved in with a man,
I moved in with a man
and didn't have a ring on my finger.
I got a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a son. I got a king I'm raising. Who's sleeping? Why?
I've never lived with a man in my life.
Never. I've never lived with a man.
And
before.
I used to say I'm not living with a man until we're engaged, or I'm living with, or I'm getting married to him, or I'm married to him. But nowadays, I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of changed my mind a little bit. Like, how you know who you dealing with if you don't live with them?
Oh, for sure. That's all I'm
things
saying.
change.
But like, I only live with my husbands, but I married them both. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
If we hadn't lived together, I wouldn't want to marry somebody I hadn't lived with. Like, honestly, like I need to know.
You want to know?
I need to know.
But it's like, can't you like go? Well, no.
Like
because they can put up a whole front. You gonna stay with them for a few weeks.
Yeah,
They can put
once
up a
you're
whole
living with
front.
that person, everything
it's
comes
different.
out.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
See, but when I was young, old school different.
Yeah.
Well, we grew up back in the day was there. My mom and them it was different.
Exactly.
So she put into me what she knew.
Yeah.
But now today she's just like maybe you
things
should.
are so different now.
Absolutely.
Things are so different
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Like I really think you just gotta go what makes sense for you. And I don't think like there definitely are societal norms, but I think that they're changing so quickly and everybody just do what makes sense for you and your boo. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think.
I think
That's
for me
true.
now that I'm a mother, it just kind of is just a whole nother realm. You know what I'm saying? I'm really protective of that.
Absolutely.
You know, so like
I don't be trying to have nobody meet my kids.
No, I know, absolutely not.
When you find a man that agrees with you,
that's a different level.
And can meet you at the same point that you're at, that's who you're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that person. It's hard to find that person that is like-minded like you, ambitious as you, same point as you. I used to always tell my friends even I have to tell myself he wasn't for you. Like, trust me, girl, you're going to find your man. Like, there's a man out there right now going through the same stuff you going through with his girl. And he's like, dang, why can't I just find a good girl? Y'all going to run past each other. Y'all going to meet each other. But for the meantime, a relationship
But wait a minute, I want to stop you right there because how many times do you think you might have had that person, but y'all gave up too quick because things weren't?
No, see, I guess I don't.
We about to have to wrap up too, so I don't want to get too in
I
depth.
was
But
gonna
I feel like a lot of people give up too quickly these days.
But a thing that I have learned, and I have learned literally, is each relationship I have learned something.
Absolutely.
And I'm not giving up on anything. I put my hard work into my relationships, and I make sure that when I put in as much as I can before I walk away.
Absolutely.
So I don't feel like, I didn't work hard enough or I didn't do enough. I never feel like that because I do everything that I can to make sure that works, and I make sure that I take a step back sometimes. Sometimes I take a step forward. Sometimes I say, well, sometimes I don't. And if it don't work, it don't work. But I've learned something from every single woman, and I take what I learned into the next one. And so I know what I won't deal with and what I will deal with, what I will accept, what I won't accept, whatever the case may be. So when I run into that man that I'm supposed to be with, he done went through the same things I done went through. And we can bring that together, and we can learn where we're going to go from there together.
So it's all about learning from your situations and using it.
I think so, because if you put yourself fully in that relationship or in it, you did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And on that note, we got to wrap it up. But I want to give everybody a super quick. If you want to shout out your social, how they're really quick. Just say it and then keep it moving. Because we gotta wrap it up. Moya, how can they find you on social? No?
Mademoiselle _Mo28 on Instagram. I have Paintings by Mo on Instagram, as well as Moya Benin on Facebook and Moya B's Paintings on Facebook.
Latrice?
Oh, she got a lot. I just got a couple.
Okay.
Right.
No, you can find me on Loving You 22 on Instagram, and we'll just leave it at that one.
Okay. And then at 30 Flirty and Thriving on Instagram, or Amber Boone on Facebook, and the best Amber everywhere, pretty much. And Katie, do you want me to find you on social?
So my blog is typebeautiful.com, and my social is on my blog.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to shout out my team, Big Vaughn is E-Money. You can reach me at www.salute-tees.com where you can order your shirt for a job well done, or you can reach me on Instagram at Christian Nelson Music or at salute-tees.com.
Awesome.
Terry Larry Jr. on Facebook. That's all I got, really.
All right, cool. All right, that's it. Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey yo, ambitious, the go-getters that handle business, the up and rising. This is 30, 30, and